Odyssey by OpenBook.
What is the most daunting task that you have ever encountered during your high school career?
As Confucius said, life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated.
And we have found this true for the process of finding information and preparing for college and high school.
Well, we, the members of OpenBook, now introduce Odyssey, the app to simplify the task that society has made complicated.
It will ensure easier access to college information, along with one-of-a-kind, AI-based personalized recommendations to help all high schoolers get through the stress of college preparations.
Now, some background information.
A Forbes article on the topic of college admission found many major problems that high school students face while applying for colleges. The article especially emphasizes the fact that students take courses that are way too hard for them just for the purpose of college admission. Imagine taking an incredibly hard class just for it to end up not mattering at all. These are the troubles we high schoolers have to go through. Some other problems we face include cost, competition, expectation, ranking, standardized testing, and many more.
According to a study done by the University of New Hampshire, only 17.8% of school districts meet the American School Counselor Association's recommended student-to-school counselor ratio of 250 to 1 or lower. The median ratio is 411 to 1. Now imagine one person dealing with 411 kids. I would go insane. That's why we created Odyssey, a free app that includes personalized AI recommendations, which are similar to college counselors, but without the stress that counselors face today.
We conducted a survey of around 100 people throughout schools in Wake County, asking them questions about their preparedness for college. The majority of respondents are 9th and 10th graders, as they will be the ones to experience all the functionalities of our app from the beginning of their high school journey. We can see that an overwhelming amount of students, almost 50%, have trouble finding accurate, reliable information about college. This is a major effect of the complicatedness of college preparation in today's society.
As part of our survey, we also asked various high schoolers about their knowledge of what colleges they can get into. And as we can see in the graph, around 69% of respondents do not have a clear understanding. And another survey with 165,000 high school students conducted by Youth Truth, a San Francisco-based nonprofit, found only 45% of students feel positive about their college and career readiness. Our app wants to help bring that number to 100%.
Now we'll talk about our business model, starting with the execution of our app. The main function of Odyssey is to provide personalized recommendations to high schoolers. It is very responsive to changing interests and takes your fiscal and geographical constraints into account when making recommendations. It will tailor itself to our users' needs to better improve their experience. Our app also provides a search function for more information on colleges and records data on our users' extracurricular academics and standardized testing so that they have this information in one place for their college applications. This is the architecture for the underlying algorithm of our application. It is a reinforcement learning algorithm which learns by taking actions in an environment. The actions in this case are recommendations, while the environment is the user. The reward for the algorithm is the user's acceptance of the advice. As time goes on, the agent will try to maximize its reward to provide the best experience for our users. This is our application architecture. Our backend gets data from our database on colleges and extracurriculars. This information is processed by our AI engine and sent to the front end to be displayed to the user. The user's information is also sent to the backend to further personalize their experience. As you can see from another survey that we conducted, more than 50% of the students we surveyed think that all of the functions of our application would be very useful. Some of the thoughts that our survey respondents had were privacy issues when it comes to user information and a better user interface. We are planning on encrypting all of our users' data while segregating it so that each user only has access to their data, while also improving the aesthetics of our application to address these concerns. Now, our marketing plan.
Our customer base will be high schoolers because over half of them enroll in college immediately after finishing high school. Our app would help all these people with their journey and make their college
Transition an easier experience, while also giving them opportunities to students who are less privileged and open them up to more scholarships, programs, and resources. Our app would gather interest from students of all backgrounds.
Specifically, to find our customer base, we first found our potential available market with 568 million students. We found this through a study from the US Census Bureau in 2014. To find our TAM, we found a UNICEF study that found that 2/3 of the world's school-age children don't have access to the internet, which made our total available market 189 million students. To find our SAM, we found an article by educationdata.org that reported that there are 15.3 million high school students in the US, and a study done by NPR, which found that 84% of students in the US have phones, which we use to calculate our serviceable available market as 12.85 million students. We also found our SOM at 6.12 million students from a survey we sent out. Through our research, we found out that though there aren't any direct competitors to our business, there are very few who have small portions of our market share. In the chart, the area outlined by blue exemplifies our recommendation and tracking system, both grades and extracurricular activities. Our competitors are very underdeveloped in that area, allowing us to capitalize greatly. An AI-based personalized recommendation tool, as well as all the other features of our app, will allow us to outperform our competition.
Advertising is going to be schools, social media, and word of mouth. For advertising in schools, we just need the permission from the county, and there's also going to be no advertising expense for this. The graph shown above is a survey done by higher ed experts with 900 students, which revealed that Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube are the most used social media platforms by high schoolers. So we decided to advertise on them, along with Google AdWords, because most students that are looking for college information will look for information on Google.
Now our financials.
By year 3, we only make a gross profit of $665,000. However, our final SOM is an estimate of 6 million users, though we are only estimated to reach only 1.5 million users by year 3. OpenBook predicts the number of users to continue rising, thus our profits are bound to rise as well. We have many development members involved in creating, improving, and maintaining Odyssey, and by year 3, our total expenses involved in development will be $1,340,000.
Now our operations.
The way our application will be operating will be done in 2 steps. It will be delivered to our retail locations once we have a beta version of our application, and customers can download it from there. The team that is working behind these efforts will be management group members, engineers, business analysts, and marketing specialists. Each management group member will have these people under them who will actually complete the necessary work. We're going to be using the Agile methodology, which will keep our application under constant iterative feedback from our customers, allowing us to easily address our customers' needs and wants. Meetings are held twice a week to address people's needs and wants. There's no need for a physical space since we're developing an application and doing it remote. Sprints will be held every 2 months. Our key metrics are number of app downloads, star rating of our application, number of followers on social media platforms, and number of customers who have reached their desired college. These key metrics allow us to determine if our application is performing poorly in some part of our application and help determine if we're helping our customers in the right direction.
Now the division of roles in our company. As a CEO, I decide the direction that our company will take and coordinate the smaller goals of our company to achieve the larger goals we set for ourselves. I also do additional research into technologies that can be used to improve our app. I was really good at coding before coming to this competition, so I ended up building our prototype. I also learned how to use Figma and Framer to do this.
As the CFO of OpenBook, I was responsible for researching into the different expenses and costs, and I was predicting the financial projections for future years. And this has allowed me to use Google Sheets more effectively.
As a CEO, I help decide how the company's day-to-day operations will be done and decide the organization of the company. I also learned about the different methodologies, such as the Agile and Waterfall methodologies.
As a CIO, I had to do research into information that could be useful to the company. Such examples of this include research into our customer base, figure out how our product is doing in the market, figure out our market share, as well as who our competitors are. Through this process, I learned how to do thorough research into various parts.
As a CMO, I oversee the planning, development, and execution of our organization's marketing and advertising initiatives. As a CMO, I learned how to find the most efficient channels and how to identify and target our demographics. Before, I had no idea on how to find our potential customers, SWOT charts, and more, but now I know how to. This will be extremely useful later in my business career.
Odyssey gives personalized advice and brings reliable and accurate college information to schools.
Odyssey is the answer high schoolers need for the problem that is college preparation.
These are our sources.